Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine coming to you with your DM to DF reading. To just get an idea of what's going on. Thank you for those of you all understanding of me taking my hiatus for a while there. Definitely when we're doing readings and being an empath, you soak up so much energies and things that were going on here, even in the city of Chicago. And on the job, it was just becoming a lot of extra things. And so really right now, and I watched K Moon, and she stated that, a lot of us are going to get to that point that we're going to feel withdrawal from things. Some things we're going to feel like, I got to take a time out. I even took to the point that I even took a day off from work as well, because it was just, my body was like, and it felt like my soul was like, I can't keep on pushing on this. You've got to give me a break. And so that's where we, us the divine feminine energies and divine masculine energies, some of us, we have to understand that it's okay to take a break. Again, as I say when I do my hypnotherapy session, they say time for that later. All of that stuff will still be there. And it's so good to just take a break, just a peaceful break, just time out for yourself. Not too many people get that opportunity to be able to take a break for themselves. And it's always nice that you do that. And again, with the society that we have, we are in a habit of always feeling as if we got to multitask, like I'm gonna power through. And sometimes you need to power through because that helps you to alchemize some things. But then you got to also understand the balance of things, where sometimes it's not good to be powering through. Sometimes you got to really deal with the energies and the feelings that you're dealing with. It was something I was watching, and they were saying, if it's the fear thing, is it watching or was that feel the fear and just face it head on? I think I was even talking to David and saying that as well. And that is something that we've got to understand, and that's interesting for the divine masculine in his first card here, which is stating Angel of Balance. And him understanding that in order for you to get enlightenment in the divine masculine energies, that we have to understand there's a balance of things. And we got to kind of look at some things about how things we built, such as these pyramids that I'm seeing in the background, how that helps us to be able to build a foundation for what's happening in the now. And, I've been a very big advocate talking about the now, and how that's helping us to understand that we got to be present in where we are. Because like I say in my past hypnosis therapies, that this is the life. This is the most important life for you to live here and now. Forget about what's going on in the past, but this is the one that's really is the true one. This is the one that's really going to help to propel or be a catalyst or to create that change. And this is the year, listening to K Moon saying that this is the year that if we want to change and do anything, this is the one that we talk about, seize the moment, carpe diem. This is the year to be that, to almost, if you want to have a plaque of it or something on the wall or on your mirror or post it or anything of that sort, for you to really truly say, you know what, I'm going to seize the day. I'm going to seize the moment. And so right now with the divine masculine energies, okay, thank you. With the divine masculine energies, he is right now trying to create balance with a lot of things that's going on. I'm seeing this is interesting. He's in the desert. The divine, this angel is in the desert. So I would say trying to be divine where around you there is nothing, no markers, no land markers, no life form there to really help you. The only thing that she has here is this lamp, a lamp unto my own feet, as the Bible says. So in order for the divine masculine really to truly end his, and I would say even in his feminine self, energies even reside, because we house both of them, but in his emotions, understanding that this might be new territory for the divine masculine, for him to really truly be understanding that where to go. Do you know where you're going to? I can hear this song say, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? So this is where he is actually at right now, trying to be a lamp unto his own feet, and really truly trying to get understanding that there's no outside things or forces that's going to be able to help him. I know they say a lot of times the divine masculine energies, he's always looking for outside, for validation. He's always looking for others to prove to him, to say, yes, you're doing right, good job, all that kind of stuff. And he has to get to the point of having, is that my thing? No, that's just a lint. He's got to get to the divine masculine energies, and this because I'm using he as a thing, that does not mean I'm just talking about he's only. We're talking about he could be a she too, as the divine masculine energy. So trying to get to that point where looking at where he's going, seeing in the background here where you got this moon, which is always is waning. So to me, that's saying, again, there's a point here where he's phasing things out. It's especially when we're talking about illusions and phasing things out. There's a blackness. So there's a point there for the divine masculine where it's saying, you know what, I don't know where I'm going right now. It's fading to black, everything. Well, when things fade to black, there's what? It's an ending. Okay, sometimes it fades to black when you even go to the movies, when it's getting ready to start a show. You say, oh Lord, it's about to start now. It got dark in here. I know even performances that I've seen, ballets, that it gets dark and you're like, oh yay, the show is about to start, yay. And so this is where we are. So there's an ending, and then there's also a beginning that's happening as well. Okay, now for the divine masculine also here, at the heart of the matter is several things. We got calling your soulmate. Okay, he's also has flirt, and we also have trust. Okay, so in these things that we have here, calling his soulmate, this calling the soulmate here card here is he's feeling that, again, there's a calling of the soul that is asking him to, okay, we need to make a decision. There's a fork in the road here, and there's several ways that he can go. Right now, and I listened to Kirk too as well from the, Twin Flame All Stars, which was saying that right now where we at is a lot of times he was saying in the divine masculine energies, and I think that's just being human beings, period. We're always going to try to find something that's going to make us comfortable in the process, that keeps us in the comfort zone no matter what. And this is where he's at. I see the number 13, which is jumping off of this, which is let me know that he understands that right now at this point where he has got to make a decision to put an end to something. 13 means death. So he feels the call not only from the soulmate, if you will even say for the divine feminine energies counterpart, but he's also feeling the call of the soul for him as far as within himself. And within himself saying it's got to be something better. I'm hearing the call of the wild, which is something that's really out of the box, that really would seem like it's not his norm. That's again getting him out of the comfort zone. So the divine masculine knows right now where he is that he's got to stick a fork in it and say he's actually done with this. Push like a person that I'm seeing at a table where a man is all actually like pushing away from the table and saying, I'm full. I'm full of everything that's being presented to me. I'm full with everything that's coming to me, love or information or ideas. He's tired of the monkey business. He understands that he's got to, in order to get from point A to point B, he might have to rely on some old ideologies or some philosophies that really are tried and true to get him through. Okay, I like that, especially when it rhymes. That's really divine. Some tried and true methods. Maybe he's been so much of trying to do things out of the box that is really has messed with the integrity. This is what I'm picking up of who he is and where he really truly wants to go. So the divine masculine here also is flirt. So we have the divine masculine wanting to reach out and to actually have that connection, that heart-to-heart connection, but be very light. It's not of one in which is actually recalling. Excuse me, I'm trying to find a good spot on here with my sinuses being lovely. A good thing for, in order for him to be able to connect with you, but then at the same time it doesn't bring up a lot of the past there. One way is, this is again, he wants this because he feels like it's a time, it's a need for an even exchange of energies between you and him. And it needs to be an exchange of energies, because again, that's how you all, I'm hearing the word say, power up with one another. You power up with one another by you truly having that in exchange with one another, whether it's in the 5D or in the 3D. He needs that because I think he's saying he's doing a little dance here. You help him, and the word of the day, and again on the neighborhood, to me is integrity. Integrity is, again, I think about when I got my hair done and my stylist was saying, you know what, I really don't want to put no more. You know, we got to watch it when we put these dyes and colors in there, because it's going to mess with the integrity of your hair. And the more we do it, the more it's going to change it. And right now, the word on the street for me, for Twin Flames, is integrity. What are we doing is really keeping up with the wholesome. I heard somebody said that too as well, that is talking about wholeness. What makes you whole? He understands right now where he is, that he feels as if he is doing a dance, and is keeping him in his falseness, being a false person. He is masking his emotions. However, he knows that we got this cat here, this flexibility. In order for him to be flexible, he's got to get outside of the box. Again, to me, that box represents the comfort zone. You help him. Thank you, the chime is divine. You help him to get out of that box, being that jack in the box, okay, which is not where he wants to. That's not where your balance is. That's not where it lies. So he understands that he wants to have this connection with you, this heart-to-heart connection, because again, that helps him to understand that there is some unfinished business. Now, again, I'm hearing girls go wild, and with that understanding that, again, it's something about you that's inhibited as a divine feminine. There's something about you that he feels that is wild. It's a uniqueness there. This is an untamedness of energy that you present, which is a new beginning that he knows that he can have with you, because there's this unfinished business. There's this unfinished symphony that needs to be gained and taken, and needs to be started as well with you, because there's right now him not really taking the time out to actually do what he's supposed to do is keeping him in a never-ending saga or story, which meaning that it's making him still cycling over and over again the same story. And I was listening to somebody earlier, and I can't remember who it was. They were saying again, you know, you keep on doing the same things over again, and you expecting, again, that's insanity, a different result. Some things about the past as well, I wish I could remember. They were saying about why does the past, I think it's K-Moon, why does the past keep on repeating itself? Is because, again, you keep on applying the same strategy. You keep on doing the same thinking. You still keep doing those things. And this is what it looks like to me when I look at this card. It's all about the thinking. And you feeling at the same time, the divine masculine is feeling like, hey, time is ticking. the biological clock, as we say, for the feminine is ticking, but also the divineness clock is ticking. He's also felt this call to the soul, which is also having the divine masculine, saying, you know what, I feel also the call from the divine as well, resonating in my soul, telling me that it is time. It's time for me to make a choice. It's time for me to choose a path, whichever way it might be, if it's with or without. This is where he's got to go. So now the heart of the matter also with the divine masculine is trust issues here. He feels with the divine masculine, if he makes a move, he knows in the past that he has done some things that have stabbed the divine feminine in the back. He understands that the divine feminine energies is very vulnerable. She wears her heart on the sleeve, which is not a bad thing. It's just that, again, that she's an open book when it comes to emotions. That's something that he is not in this picture or in this card, because we see him in the military. Military feels like, again, it's several things, and I know Kirk said he doesn't like that, but we're talking about that. But when I see the military uniform on the divine masculine, and I'm just getting this channel message now, is telling me that, again, some kind of way he feels like he's at service for something. Okay, rather service for self, service for family, service for the job. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm so-and-so corporate, so-and-so commander-in-chief, whatever, I'm here at your service. And he feels like, again, it's like he's protecting. But the divine masculine doesn't understand that some of the things that he's protecting is the wrong things. It's not the divine things. And I know they were saying about this Aquarius energy that we are actually in, and that's going back to K-Moon. And this is, again, underneath Aquarius, their thing, energies, is of being of service to people, to be about humanity. That's where that pouring of the water comes from with the Aquarius. Because it's interesting, because when you look at the Aquarius, I know for years I thought Aquariuses were water sign, not air, because they're pouring out the water, and it's like, no, it's just, again, pouring out their energies amongst all people, and that's how they feel, very self-sacrificing. And then this is, again, that energy, although you may have Aquarius or may not have Aquarius in your chart. This is one thing, again, that is again, playing a role as to how we interact with other people in our relationships. So the divine masculine feels at this time that with him is that he feels that he's at service. At the same time, by him being at service, he is also guarding his heart. And we know the story that we have there when we talk about with divine masculines is a lot of times that they had divine masculines were sent off to war. They had that warrior heart, or being at battle, and a lot of times that would make them not check their heart out while they're on the battlefield. But then again, as they are doing that, when it came home, it was a lot of times it was kind of hard for them to thaw their heart out. And this is where we're talking about with the divine masculine, because right now he is wanting to be with the divine feminine, but at the same time there is a mixed match of emotions, because again, this is where the trust comes in, where he feels like he's at service and he's being dutiful and honorable, but at the same time he's not being honorable to the connection. He's not being at service to the connection, because he is at the same time feeling as if he is being honorable from where he is. And this is something that he's got to get to the point to understanding of. He's got to trust. The clarifying card here we have here is observe. He's got to understand that that connection between the divine masculine energies as far as heaven and earth. How he can have that perfect balance between being in service in the world, but then also being in service for the connection, for the twin flame. And this is where, again, on the journey, because he's sitting on, I'm hearing saying he's sitting on a gold mine, which means, lets me know that he's sitting on a new opportunity, a new beginning. But he's got to really set his sights to look up higher, which means not in the 3D world, because the answer's not going to be there. But he's got to set his sights up higher, which is again in using his intuition and his awareness, and letting that be the target sign, or letting that be the main focus that he's looking at. So he's got to, in using that cunningness that he has, because a fox is sly like a fox, that he's doing, he's got to really understand that slyness maybe might be used for him to be able to move and have his being in the 3D world. But when it comes to him in the connection in the twin flames, he's got to understand that it takes a different modality in order for him to be able to operate in. We got to also, the truth be told. So the divine masculine is moving into the energies of understanding that he's got to be very truthful with who he is and who his identity is for where he's at. He has a mask on, and this mask has got to be taken off. Whatever it is that he's using to be saying yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, and no ma'am in a relationship, on a job, dealing with friends, those things. I know, I think I did watch Kate Moon, and she's giving me a lot of information on this one, which is to have an understanding that between that and Kurt too as well, understanding that that you have got to get to the point that some of the divine masculines may get to the point of saying that their friends and their families and those things do not reside. They're helping to feed me into the fear factor or the comfort zone that I am currently in. And he might get to the point that really start, as he's observing, as the card said, really truly seeing and feeling the need that if the divine is calling me, then at the same time, and in that calling of what I'm feeling in my soul, that there's got to be a change. Things are maybe not aligning and maybe blocking me for me to be able to get into that place in which the divine is calling me to come to. And so he's got to open up the windows of, the windows of heaven, that's true. And he's got to open up the windows of his soul so he can be able to let the love flow. And he's got to become much wiser as well about what's happening. It's interesting that this owl looks like he's like a baby owl. So that means, again, that's just developing, and his eyes are wide open. We don't want eyes wide shut. We want that wide open. And most of the time, when you have babies, their eyes is like they're observing, they're looking at everything they're taking in. And that's where it's got to come in as a child. But see, what the difference is a lot of times I know we say, oh, if I could go back in time and relive over again, we would want to be able to take that knowledge and the maturity that we have now and apply it and go back in the time machine back to where we were younger, because we know definitely with that knowledge and that know-how we would do things totally different. And this is where the divine masculine is being asked to go to. So 3 things that we have here as far as what's being showed here. We have the false person, and it seems like whomever this karmic situation, person, place, or thing is fanning the flames to, again, it's almost acting as if a catalyst too as well, because right now it's getting hot. The flames are like right literally on the back of the divine masculine energies, and right now it's time for him, since it's getting hot and it's getting, the heat is on, that he's standing here also with a mask on too. After a while, that you got all those layers and things on you, after a while you're like, oh my God, it's hot, I gotta take some of this stuff off. And so this could be spiritual heat, as well as it looks like he's getting, to me, like a sandwich in between the karmic situation, person, place, or thing, and between the spiritual heat is being applied to the divine masculine. He is feeling as if he's got to make this change. he is moving into the energies that he wants to become an official person. And in becoming an official person, he understands this is again, how is he going to become an official person? If you look at this, this is again military again. So this here lets me know that he's got a lot of medals on there. What does that mean? That means that I done went through some things. I done went through the fire. I done went through a couple of battles. I done led some things, some brigades, whatever it is taking it. And at the end of the day, I have been held up in high esteem by my colleagues in the military that said I did a job well done. Well, they don't get those medals from just showing up. They got to exactly do something in order for that to happen. And so this is where the divine masculine is right now currently, which is gaining medals. So in order for him to do that, he's got to have some experiences. He's got to win some things. He's got to go at war for things. He's got to battle for things. And this is where he is exactly here. But I see the sword here, which is also pointing down, which is really standing on his truth. The sword is not slanted, which lets me know that he is exactly standing in his truth with the sword. And it's not on a perspective of anybody else's perspective. It's of his own, because he's got his hand firmly on there. And it's got the number 22 on it, which lets me know that he has mastery as well. The divine masculine here also feels like right now is in reverse. He is in prison with where he is. I'm thinking with him, the divine masculine is now coming to the realization that he's being in prison. I think in his own little way, the divine masculine feels as if he had been free. And now he's seeing again that he is not free where he is. He's been playing himself small. Oh, he's got a mouse here too as well. And he's been looking at somebody else to come along and to free him, because he feels that he does not have the keys to help him to be able to get out of the situation. I'm looking at these torn clothes that he's got here. His identities probably has been shredded by the situation that he's in with the what you call it, the karmic or the hard lessons of life. He's been going through the ringer, and it's kind of shredding that identity that he's been wearing, that he's saying that it's really saying this is me. And with all these experiences that's coming along, it's like, nope, take the button off. He's shredding the sleeves, everything. And it's like, okay, now what am I left with? So in some ways, this is a good thing for the divine masculine, because again, he is being able to learn who he truly is, and things are getting stripped away from him as well. And it's interesting, this hand that he's got here is almost like a hand out. But again, to me, I'm seeing him also saying I can be able to feel freedom. I can put my hand. I think about I don't know why this come to me, about Nelson Mandela and him being in the cell, and you know how he was like, again, he had to kind of transform himself from, well, that's the wrong word, but anyway, he had to from him being in the jail cell, and how that jail cell did not confine him. Many times he would take adventures and find himself in other places, just in that 4x4, that little small tiny cell, and understanding that you might have my body but you don't have my spirit. And this is kind of really what the divine masculine is there a lot of times. I think, did he have a window? I can't remember, but that might be somebody else that said that. I was remembering somebody saying they being in jail, they had no window. That might be in the movie, and they were saying that, you know, they would pretend like the window, and they could look out there and see all different kinds of things that was going on the outside. And I think when they got out, they was asking him, and he was telling all the different things that he was seeing. And it's like, you know, you had a wall up there, and you know, I think it's a movie I was thinking of, and it was like, yeah, but you know, that's where my imagination had taken me. So to me, when I look at this, it's just like I'm seeing him seeing all the possibilities still in the situation where he feels that he still has access to freedom, although he is still in prison. Let me take a look and see about as far as what's going on with him. It wasn't a 3D thing. What's over there? Emotionally, he's trying to get enjoyment with where he is, but in his mind, there's a conflict. Right, and that's what I was saying about him being that false person and trying to be official. That's why I said earlier, like some kind of way he's thinking that it's okay, but it's not. It's a conflict. It's kind of coming up clear. Let me look and see. Ooh, whoa, not the whole deck there. Let's look and see what's happening in his 3D world. Okay, so he's submerged in something. Look like I see the divine feminine there, energies too. So that goes back to, again, being called by the divine feminine energies. Trying to learn how to read between the lines. So that, to me, again, is looking at and seeing things that's not truly just black and white. There are gray areas to things. Okay, this whole stack, it keeps on wanting to tell a story. Reaching, he wants to reach out. That goes back to this. Reaching out. I told you, so I said something about this hand. So he is reaching out. The Divine Master is setting the record straight on some things. And I do feel that. I think that's an inward thing. Of trying to set some things straight too as well. I feel like this, what jumps off to me in this card is the record player. Which is, again, he's got the needle on the record. And it's been playing that same groove and that same track over and over again on there. And so he knows now, in order for things to change, he's got to stop playing song number 2 or song number 3 on there and actually move the needle to go to the next one. He feels as if he wants to take a shot. Some of them might feel like, again, take a shot. Alcohol is involved. Trying to feel as if at that point that they could be able to submerge them or to be able to get away from by using of alcohol. But some of them also, I'm feeling, saying that they feel as if taking a shot is like, again, they could be able to take a chance. Okay, that's where some of them off. The answer is again, if that's you ask the question, the answer is yes. About this union, yeah, he still wants it, because I'm looking at it saying yes, emotionally, yes, I still want this, and I see a rainbow. So they're saying, yes, I still want the union. So there was that. But right now, again, he still got that stifle. That stifle energy has came out in several readings before. Right now, there's a lover's quarrel going on here. And I want to say this lover's quarrel, to me, is it could go on several levels, and my heart is burning when I think about this. It's a heart matter. Two energies is colliding. The Divine Masculine energy saying want to do this. The Divine Feminine energy say they want to do this, but it's got to be a meeting of minds. And a meeting of the energies for union within. And this is where this quarrel is. It's not that. A couple of them, yes, they're quarreling with the person, whoever they are with. But it can be, again, the situation, person, place, a thing, wanting out. But then at the same time, not being able to get out. That's another thing that's playing out for them. Understanding they're not seeing that the Divine Masculine has been wanting to date. Has some time, some engagement between him and the Divine Feminine energies. I also feel that, again, some of them might be dating, maybe trying to get themselves get their minds off of the situation. That's nothing but a distraction that the Divine Masculine is doing as well. So that might be it. But to me, I feel like that dating is like toying around, playing around, trying to find like some other outlets than from the twin flame journey, because they feeling frustrated. This isn't going anywhere where I am at. This is it. Rather, it's a job, person, place, a thing, whatever it is. So that's just nothing but a distraction. So don't clutch the pearls on that one. And then also we got here dirty laundry. He understands he's got to air out some dirty laundry. He's got to clean some stuff up. This has been coming out for several readings here. Interested, he's got this newspaper here, which to me is like current events. He's got to deal with the current events. Thank you. He's got to deal with the current events too as well. And this is something that he's got to learn how to really see things for what they are. That's why they're talking about that observation thing. And he's getting nirvana again. There's some heightened sense of things that's, again, that kind of some heart fluttering things, some action and movement in the heart. And that's that heart to heart connection that he's saying he's feeling within himself, but he's also feeling the connection with the divine feminine energies too. And so this is where it is at that higher state. This is where he's got to get to too as well. When we're talking about nirvana, it's getting to a much higher state of consciousness, a higher state with where he's at on the journey. And this is something that he's got to deal with, that heavenly state of mind, that heavenly state of being. This is it. Some other things. Oh, where I'm at time-wise, 36. Okay. So let's look at about the journey. I'll put that over there. Got my new cards. Clear. This comes out every time for this one. Oh, Lord, have mercy. So, we got two things here. The divine masculine energies here is dealing with some addictions and some abundance. Okay, so when we talk about addiction, he's codependent in the divine masculine energies. He's obsessed, he's possessive on something, he's controlling, and has a block and restraint. And this addiction that he's having here is, to me, is the addiction of being in the comfort zone. This addiction of controlling and feeling that he has control over where he is. This possession, like everything that he's worked hard for and he has as far as material things, he's extremely possessive of as well. And this is blocking him. He needs to learn how to have a little more restraint. I'm hearing to say he got to have a little bit more compassion too. That's it as well. And so this is where he's actually at, that he's got to be able to deal with those things as well. He's got also abundance, okay? Abundance, this is what he's doing. He needs to keep a positive, according to this card, it says keep a positive mindset. Exactly what you want. Manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. So he's got to get, I told you, they had nirvana. He got to get to that high vibe. He's got to get to the point that he is really exactly manifesting what he's wanted. He's been manifesting things on a haphazard way. He has manifested things by happenstance or on accident, and not learning how to be able to have things happen on command or on demand when it's needed. And that is an issue the divine masculine has got to get to the point that he's training himself. And we've been talking about this training since we talk about military. And in order for you to train like the military, it's got to be it's a process, it's discipline. And this is what the divine masculine is finding out that he's lacking. But he's understanding he's got to find gratitude with where he's at too as well. And he's learning that. Because in doing that, that's going to help him to get into his bliss. Okay? What is the divine masculine clear right now saying about this situation where he is on this journey right now? Spend time with Bae. Make art, love, or music. The divine masculine understands that it's time for him to spend more time with the divine feminine energies. Because she is Bae. She is beyond anything else. And he knows this. Source has been telling him this. In his heart, he's been feeling this. And so he understands in order for him to start doing that, and not only talking about this on outside of himself, but understanding, talking about within himself, in order for him to be able to have that connection, because he's got that lover's core of what's going on within himself. He understands that he's got to do several things to get him out of his head space, to get him out of the masculine energies into the feminine, which is to do something like art, to actually love, and to either do music. These are all segues of manners of channels of ways in which helps him to alchemize the situation. And so this is what the divine masculine is saying within him, and doing that, and also reaching out and touching and talking to him. It helps him to get courage and about the situation that he's in as well. And those of you all that's in communications with your person, you kind of know what I'm talking about, because you will see them kind of like lighten up. They look like you can feel in their energies like they've been encouraged. Like okay, I can go back in there and I can battle it now. So this is what's going on. Anything else, let's see, from the divine masses aspect. Says he understands that he feels like he's protected right now with whatever is going on. He says he knows that he is safe and divinely guided with even what's going on now with him in this situation. And he's saying that also for the divine feminine, that to understand that he understands that this relationship or this connection between you and him, it is divinely protected. He understands this now. Clear. What else? Look at the turtle. Oh, they're showing the turtle on here, which that is, again, that's life. Taking your time, but enjoying the ride. And I think about with turtles as well, they got that shell too. That shell can be a burden. That shell is a protection. That shell is their shelter. They got everything right there encompassed with that. But then they could be in hangman mode too, as a turtle, because they're like, damn, I'm walking around here with my house and home. This is my protection. At the same time, if anybody come along and knock me over, I have to ask for assistance for other people to help me. And so that's, again, that shell, that protection, again, that's been given to him, could be a hindrance. It is a blessing and a curse. And this is kind of semi where the divine masculine is feeling as well. He wants you to know that you've affected his life significantly. I can tell that too. That helps him. That's why I said that's why he likes to have that connection with you. as well, talking to you, because that helps him to get himself back in alignment with. You got to remember, that's you talking to yourself. That's just like you having a power hour with yourself. And when you do that, that helps to encourage you, like, yeah, girl, come on, we got to do this. Like, we're going to get up today. I don't feel like, well, we're going to have to do this because, you know, we got to do X, Y, and Z today. We don't never know who we meet today. We don't never know who we're going to encourage today. So we got to get up. So this is how you motivate him. The same way you motivate yourself is the same way while you talking to the divine masculine, you're doing the same thing. Now sometimes the divine masculine, you encourage them, and sometimes they go into ego mode, but that's not really your concern about that. It's just for you to be able to make that connection with your person, and again, doing unconditional love is the way that you can do it. If you say, no, I can't talk to my person in 3D, then again, talk to them in 50. That is you. That point of saying, oh, I'm going to cut off, I don't want nothing to do with them, but you got to remember, again, that is you. That is part of you. Even if they're not acting the way you want them to do, I always say, treat them as if they are your child. You know, a lot of times they do things bad. You do just that, you tell them. You tell them what they did wrong. You do the time out or whatever like that. But at the end of the day, you still got to come back with your child, because that's your child. You still got to talk to them. You still got to feed them. You still got to clothe them. You still got to do everything with that. And in some ways, yes, I am saying that's the way you kind of got to look at it, because again, your person on the outside, which is a reflection of you, still has some room to grow. They still have some room in which they need to know about certain things. And so this is where you are actually at right now. So looking at your person, you might not be in that same area where he is needing help or assistance in, but you might be doing the same thing in a totally different area. Okay? He wants you to know that he looks at your picture often. I got something, I went there and did that. My mascara pieces is all in my eye, feel it. That might be a help. So again, that helps you to understand that I say the picture would be daydreaming, maybe literally seeing your picture, maybe literally going over there to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever that has your picture, and he's letting you know that he actually does look at you and see what you're doing. Okay, so yes, he is trolling or creeping or stalking, Facebook stalking your page. So that didn't came out. What does the divine masculine feel as far as on your connection? What does he feel about the connection? That you two have got to remain open to it. Okay, he knows he's got to be remain open. He's got to be more firm in his emotions when it comes to the connection, and he understands that in order for you all, as far as your all's actions, that you've got to really embrace him, like really securely. Like, this is like, I'm holding on to you, like I'm holding on to you. He needs to feel that no, I'm holding on only to you. You help to build help to be my security. I am secure in this relationship. I am secure in this connection. Okay? And he said, while you doing that, I'm upholding. I'm doing my work too, as well as keeping you uplifted, keeping you sustained as well. But this is a partnership. It's got to go both ways. He understands again that sometimes he might have to, in this connection, that seems like you have been super flexible, been super open to this relationship as well. You love me, baby. Is it the way you love? Thank you. Me, baby, I don't like to stop them when them telemarketers, because when you do that, they're like, oh, somebody home. I'm going to come back on there again and call again. Nope. Don't do that. Not interested. So, to me, it's like, again, it's ascending, helping you. And then Divine Masculine feels also in his actions that what he's doing, he's also helping you. As well, for you to be able to ascend. Something about that look like, to me, her position looks like I'm taking flight. As well, and he's got on his head what he's got green on, so no, it's blue. Manifesting, that goes back to what we said earlier, helping him in that abundance to be able to manifest things, manifest this union, manifest this connection, manifest the things that he wants. Noticing he's back in water again, so he knows that in his emotions he's got to get grounded in that. We see also with this here, also when we talk about this connection there's a point there that it's a comfortability, it's a comfort in the connection between you two when it comes even in the 3D world. He understands that you help to keep him in his heart space. He does look to you for intimacy and for you to be able to nurture him as well. He knows that in his thinking, his mind space, he's got to be able to communicate more. That's got to be on the forefront of his mind as well. And I'm looking at the feminine in here. She looks very comfortable, but I'm looking at how her leg, almost just like how my leg is cocked up on this thing that I have here. And just really truly being open to it, to be more comfortable in the skin that she's actually in. And she's kind of like looking at him as well. And it's interesting, she got the position like this, and she's looking at it. Look like she's looking like what kind of position as to what the next play with. She's got a hand like this, kind of like that. Like she wants to point out some things to him. So to help him to understand how they could still stay into that connection. Also we have here, this one here too as well. Understanding he still feels like in order for the connection that he feels that he's got to look to the divine feminine and nurture. She's got to be in her also healthy space of having healthy connections as well, and being able to manifest too. To me, when I look at this, it's always seemed like that's, again, she's in the role like I look to you. I look to you to tell me how things are. I look to you to gauge where we're going. And so this is where he's at. Interesting fishes there. And I see the yellow here, which is going to help him to be able to stand in his power, because he has yellow on his head. And that's what we talked about earlier, for him to be able to stand and know who he is, stand in his own authority. And to me, that represents his identity. We got green and yellow, really being comfortable in our heart space and being truly on the pillows, being comfortable into knowing who we are. Okay, let's see what are some messages that he has for us. For divine feminine, clear. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Okay, he said it. Looking at and seeing what is he saying. Clear. What is he thinking? Please stay. I need you more than I could ever say. And while he's going through this, I can understand that balance, because if you're trying to find balance at this time, and he really wants to reach out and connect to the divine feminine at this too, you don't want to disrupt the process. It's like they're telling me about the birthing process that he's going through as well. So it's almost like the grandma said, you can't say nothing good at all, don't do it. If you can't give anything positive to where he's at in his growth, it is, oh, I didn't like that. I forgot. Whatever. Maybe it might be time for y'all to go together. For you to do that, going back, just leave them alone. If you can't add nothing to their life and you feeling like you're going to subtract it, then that's where separation is good. You need to just leave them alone, because right now spirit is working on them and they want them to get them into the area of, let's say area, so I'm gonna leave that there. Ruler of everything under the sun, trying to manifest everything that he wants. So this is where source say they're pushing divine masculines to. And again about this Jupiter, leadership, ascension, thunder, and law and justice, that came out last time. So he's still in that phase there. He has not learned. I'm like, just like in the classroom, I told him, I say, we are not moving on to another lesson until you master this. So again, source is saying that the divine masculine has not mastered this, and so this is what we're still dealing with, understanding being ruler of everything underneath the sun, how to get mastery, and then also him understanding about his own leadership, being able to ascend. Thunder to me again is like really putting forth some action and changing things in the atmosphere, really being electrifying, letting spirit help to intensify and amplify the situation, so that again it's the law. It's again, you cannot skirt around it, skate around it, get around it. Again, the law is the law. Spiritual laws, the physical 3D laws that we have in place. These are the things I'm thinking that, again, that the source is telling him that he's got to learn how to start respecting the laws. The law. This lady down when I was going to college in Atlanta, and she always, with her sermons, would always say, because I studied metaphysics, was always saying the law. And I always tease my mom, I say she could just get up there and say the law and go sit down. That's the end of the lesson sermon for the day. You know, because in order for you to do that, you want justice in the situation. It goes back to, again, what Lauren Hill said, how you gonna win when you ain't right within? It's no way you're gonna come out winning or manifesting anything like that. And sometimes, and that's through God's grace, that they override that and they still bless you with that. But again, there's still an action that must be taken, which it is that you are truly, that goes back to that discipline. That's what's happening with the addictions. You're skirting around, you're going all the way around it, and I think we talked about that earlier, but then it's still something that you've got to answer to. There's the law. If you start doing laws of physics and following that, like attracts like, or whatever it is, object in motion stays in motion, you've got to apply those things in order for it to help you to be able to get justice in this situation. Because right now, where you are divine masculines here, it seems as if you want justice, but they say in order for that, you got to, I'm hearing them saying you got to practice the law. I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing like LA law. I'm hearing doom doom do 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 do. What's that? Do 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 do. I can see it. That show, Law and Order. That's why they play him this theme song. Boom boom do 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 do. Boom boom do 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 do. So it's law and order. That's what they telling you. It's a law and it's an order to things. And this is where the divine masculine has got to find himself to do and to get into that space. I just mixed them all up. That's all right. Okay. Is there any other kind of clarify? Ooh, got two of them out here. Trying to see here. See that cause and effect. Because again, working on wounds after battling an issue, heroic. Told you about those medals. This is where he's got to do. He's got to deal with the wounds. Also, I feel like, again, I'm being directed, and I said that earlier in some ways. It came in one of these cards here, and I didn't say it. I think it was the trust issues that, remember, again, for some of these divine masculines, they're going to have to go away and kind of get themselves together and rebuild themselves before they come to you, because they got to deal with these wounds, because they've been battled some things. Some of these divine masculines with these karmic situations, persons, places, things, have took them through the ringer. Going back to that laundry, that's almost like that dirty laundry card there too. They took it to the ring, and now they went through the wash cycle. You see how laundry is. Now they got to be dried out, because now they have been washed and made brand new. And so now spirit is like, okay, now you got to go somewhere and dry out. That's just like any kind of process of fruits, meat, or whatever like that. You got that drying out process, getting out all that other stuff that no longer serves. This is where we are in order for you to become a new fruit or whatever. Even you got like dried fruit or whatever like that, it's still there, but it's a different way. It's gotten all that extra access stuff that does not belong. And this is where it is, because again, he wants to be that official person. He wants to be that heroic person. He's got to go through that, because they say it's down now to the wire where it's the bottom line. The bottom line oriented. He's got to get orientated to understand the bottom line. The bottom line, like they say, is law and order. The bottom line is you've been in the comfort zone. The bottom line is that you're dealing with a false person, and this false person has made you be false. The bottom line is, and this is where he's at. Interesting, I'm being drawn to this card, which is at the bottom of the deck, which is cause and effect. He's caused these things. He's got to deal with the effect. And this is something that he's got to grow out of, they're telling me. Okay? All right, what is this? They flipped out. So he can be able to become the bringer of the light in darkness. And this is where he's getting pushed at. That's funny. It just pushed that out my hand. All right, that's the next one. So Divine Feminines is watching this. What do we have to heal? What do we have to heal in order to assist our own Divine Masculine energies into getting out of those things that we just discussed? So how can we help and assist our Divine Masculine energies? Our Divine Masculine energies. Our Divine Masculine energies. I'm going to keep on saying that. We've got to, in order for us to be able to do that, we've got to become the aware. We've got to heal our awareness. How are we seeing things? I keep on being drawn to the Hangman card, and understanding that, again, the Hangman card comes in with, sometimes when you see it, it comes reversed, it comes upright. You can't really tell. It depends on your perspective. So one of them does look like the person is hanging upside down and they're trapped and they can't move. And then you got one way it looks like a person that is like this trapped that can't move, and they look like they want to make a forward movement but they can't. That's the upright. And then you got one that's the reverse position where whichever way it is. Anyway, when it's the reverse position, I'm saying that, and they hanging upside down, they look like they comfortable being caught up right there in the comfort zone of not being able to move. It's just like, I'm just here. I'm just here. So in order to help them with that is this understanding that I am aligned with my purpose, which means to tell me with the Divine Feminine energies is that, hey, you got to start doing some movement. Get on your bliss. Get on your mission. Get on your purpose. Nice, beautiful segue. Last night we did on the Divine, on the Playground Experience, I had Deborah Risper on. She talked about being on your mission and purpose. Good stuff in there. If you have not seen it, please make sure that you do go and look at that, because it's got a lot of good stuff in there that's telling you about how you can be on mission even when you got a family, you got a husband, and if you got like several serial ideas of how about your entrepreneurship. She talks about that too as well. Very insightful, not only because she was one of my former students, but to see how she's taken it from that point on and has now just taken it and has grown her business. That is something that helps you when we talk about the Divine Masculine, taking his energies and alchemizing that. That is one way that you can be able to do that, and plus get your mind off of the journey. So please make sure that you go through my playlist and look and see. I think I might even put on the Playground playlist, but not, if not, it's definitely on there, and click on that and really look at it. Okay, Next one is say about enlightenment. Interesting again. Here goes the synchronicities right here. This is a lamp. This is a lamp. Both of them are lights. We talked about that. So in order for you to be able to do that, your thing, and I forgot to say that this is your affirmation, which is I am aligned with my purpose. That's your affirmation. So with enlightenment, divine feminines, your affirmation for you would be I understand why I chose to learn in this way. Okay? So that'll help your divine masculine energies to understand that, hey, nothing, again, I go back to hangman, nothing happens, it happens just. These things are not helping me because they don't like me or I'm taking it personally. It's because, again, I said that earlier from the source, it's time for the divine masculine to grow. And that's the same thing for you, that no matter how these lessons are coming in the way, that in the form, the shape, and matter that they are, this is something in which is to open up your eyes, open up your soul, and to really truly help you to get onto the path of you being identified with the true person that you are sent here to be. The next thing is composure. Oh, wow. This is what they say we have to heal from, divine feminines. And here's your affirmation. I remain calm under pressure even when other people are trying to engage me in conflict. That was that conflict card that came out even with the divine masculine. And this is why this is something that you should really take heed to, because even when we talk about the divine masculine and seeing what they're doing and whatever they're doing, that throws us off, even with the 3D things that's going on, even with us, sometimes that throws us off as well. Our own karmic situations, persons, places, things that throw us off. But understanding that to remain, calm, keep calm is the little emoji, not the emoji, little meme. Woo! That comes around, excuse me, and it's about that too as well. Somebody's tired out there. Also secure. So I do not feel threatened by others' success. There is enough supply to go around for everyone. That's again in the divine feminine energies, and that's probably with the divine masculine, because I'm picking up with him. Now for this card, I picture mirroring. It's the opposite. He's so busy looking on the outside for acceptance, and the divine feminine energies is looking and helping that to fuel his fire to go on ahead, because he's getting validations from his people, whatever outside sources, and the divine feminine is looking at outside sources and saying that again, with that they're like the enemy. There's no way of her being able to again feed off of that energy, because they're saying that other people are doing. So instead of like the other people is helping, giving him strength, she's looking at them and saying, oh my God, they're pulling on me, they're taking away from me, and that's an issue. Okay, so got to be again secure. Ooh. So your thing is enlightenment, composure, and security. I said security earlier too. Interesting. Okay, let's flip around. Ooh, we talked about security. Okay, last card. What's some relationship advice from Source about this whole ordeal for divine masculine and divine feminine? Clear. Ooh, this is a good one. Oh my God. And I'm going to give you some homework with this too. Why do I want the relationship I want? So, Source says, think about what you want in a relationship and why you want it. Look for those around you who are experiencing good relationships and feel appreciation for them. Make a list of the positive aspects of those good feeling relationships you have spent time with. In fact, one of the fastest ways to make your way to a wonderful relationship is to find any subject that consistently feels good, even if it has nothing to do with relationships and focus on that. Interesting. So I'm seeing this on several levels. One of them is that you think about what is the relationship that you want with self. Second thing is, what is the relationship that you would want with your person, your divine person. And next would be, what would you want to be your relationship with the world, how you interact. Okay? You say, right, that's something going on. He getting tired of something. Okay. It might be slightly mean divine masculine. They're tired. They're tired. Somebody's tired on here, and they're tired too. Because I feel like this morning, like when I woke up this morning, I heard a car out there because it snowed here in Chicago. And the wheels was just spinning, spinning, spinning. You go, couldn't get out. That thing was just spinning. I don't know. I think they did. And I talked to Source, and I told him, I say, Source, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like I'm just stuck in the ice, but it's no forward movement. You know. And then that's what he told me. It's all in perspective. You know, at that point right there, for that person, what they were doing is they got to learn how to, you know, I was hearing my daddy would say they got to rock the car back and forth. You can't just keep on spinning in that one space. You got to go forward, got to go back. You got to go forward, you got to go back. You got to go forward, you got to go back. That's the same thing when we're talking about even in this journey. Sometimes we have to move forward. Sometimes we'll move forward, and sometimes it looks like we're taking 2 steps back. But that's all in the process, because sometimes you gotta just move back so you can be able to really see everything that's in front of you. Because you're in it, you can't see it, but if you back up, sometimes it looks like, oh, I see where the misstep was. Oh, I see where I went wrong right there. Maybe I should have chose this away. So sometimes it's okay for you to do that back and forth action as well. Like the person was in the snow, and then eventually they got out of the space. Because you're not going to stay there forever. One day we're going to have sunny weather, and then the snow is going to melt. So he'll be able to, that person will move. The only thing is this is the inconvenience of what? Time. How long do I got to wait until the weather gets better? Because, you know, I got places to go and people to see right now. And that's the issue. But, you know, you're not ever stuck in that one situation or that one way. And that is where the divine masculine is you got to find that balance. That's even finding balance in that, going back again when I talk about the law, the movement. You got to go back to go forward, go back, go forward. It's again, that's a balance in that. Forward movement, backward movement. But at the end of the day, it's going to get that person out that space. And that's where we are, divine masculine energies. All right then. As always, this felt good. Always know that when I do take my sabbaticals and things like that, as an Aries, we go. And then it's sometimes we have to kind of, again, we do so much full drive, because I think it's target and forward movement, that sometimes things come along to stop us to say, okay, now take it back, which means to pause. That doesn't mean I'm gone. That doesn't mean I have quit the journey. It does not mean any of those means. That means I'm going to take some self-care. And when I do that and you see me missing for a while, this is in love. That's it. Speaking of sending love, make sure that you click like and share and subscribe, because when I do go back to going on lives, you want to be notified about that. As well, because I don't have a set schedule. I just kind of free flow. That helps me to be able to remind myself to stay in the flow, to understand again about not feeling bad about not setting deadlines, just learning how to be. So that's why I do that, to help me to understand it, because in the 3D world it's always about deadlines and setting things of those nature, but that again, answering and doing tasks and all that stuff, And when it comes to the spiritual things, I like it to be a flow, because spirit flows, and it's the same thing. But make sure that you hit like as well, because when you hit like, that's just nothing but an energy exchange, which don't cost you anything. That's free, because that's me taking my time out to create these videos to you. And all I ask for you to say, hit the button that says like, to say thanks for sharing. That's all it is, and that's all you're doing by hitting the like button. Make sure that you also do to talk downstairs, down below, and the comment section, and put your own little things, as something you liked or something that you want to expound on and you have questions on. Make sure that you do that as well, down below. Don't forget to check out the playground experience with the boy Whisper and the other ones, and the others. I call it my Savage series as well. Next week we're going to have somebody coming on, Stephanie. I call her my niece. She's adopted me and I've adopted her. From even on this journey, you'll find that out in Soul Families, and so she's going to come on as well, and talk about what she's seeing as far as families and marriage, and especially underneath COVID, and how we can be able to deal with that with some of us that's in some karmic situations. And let's keep it real, because again, those are hard lessons, how to be still divine but still deal with that situation, whether it's person, place, thing, it's a job, it's a person, or whatever it is. They come in different things. And so she's going to talk about some things of her experiences, what she's seeing, and how we can be able to deal with that mentally, because that is her profession, of helping us, counseling, and helping us to come up with the tools how we can be able to deal with that better. So the next playground experience, that'll be 7:30 next Friday, or whenever you see this. If not, if you're seeing this later on, then make sure you go through the playground experience playlist and see where you can find hers about that, how to deal with family and marriage on the twin flame journey as well. So we got a lot of good stuff. And if you also I'm not on my other thing because I'm letting it rest, but if you also want to come on the playground and play around, and you are an expert in your field or something that you feel that twin flames really need to have the tools to help to do that, that's one of the main reasons why I created the playground experiences, because again, it's to allow other people to come on and to play and share their own experiences from their own perspective as well. So just hit me up on you see down in the description below, divineunisource11@gmail.com. Give me your information, or if you want to comment just below, you say I ain't got time for all that, comment below as well, and put your information there. If you have something that you feel like we need to really listen as well. It was something else I want to say. And if you have also things that you're selling, like I seen one comment saying they were talking about they made sage oil or pressed sage, things of that. Put that in here, because I do truly believe in community, and I do support others and their things and their cause of what they're doing for my Sunshine Tribe, or Sunshine Circle as I call you all. Those things, and let me know, so then I can post it on my community board as well, so we'll know about some other products that you have as well. I want to also plug, and Spirit's been telling me that for you all to check out Ethereal Sources 777 as well, with her self-love, especially this being February, her self-love and aura cleansing sprays as well. I wish I had that down here, but I have to bring that down. To go and get those things there as well. Those are very good to reminders, especially with the scents that she uses on there, for you to remember about love, because it smells like love in the bottle. And the aura cleanser, you will feel this freshness of it, and those things are just tools as a reminder, because again, you're the one that still got to do the act of being self-loving. You still got to do the act of making sure that your intentions is, as you move about the day, that your aura is cleansed. Those are just tools, just reminders as well. But so you want that, and she's got wonderful candles too as well. So you want to check that out as well. I'll try to remember to put a Wix app information for that, but I'm gonna try to plug some other people about products that they're doing. And don't forget also with me is that I have. Oh, I'll get you. Um, Two specials that's coming on that I'm doing and I have forgotten is transformation no special. If you want to know about what things you need to transform yourself, that's $14 as well. That's a 5-card spread to help you to understand about what things the source say that you need, the areas that you need to transform. I forgot about that. I got somebody got forgotten, and I seen somebody had gotten a reading. It was on there, and I want to make sure that you are getting ready for the energies. And don't forget that I do also past life hypnosis regression. I am able to now do it 2 ways through Dolores Cannon's method. I can be able to do it if you live in the Chicagoland area. You could come see me for that. I'm certified at that, and I'm certified for BQH, which is Beyond Quantum Healing as well. And you can be able to get your sessions via Zoom too as well. So check me out on I'll put that down there at Shanti Wellness Center .com, www.shanti Wellness Center.com, and I can do your things over on Zoom. What's beautiful about both of the things that I offer is that we also go with past life regression, but then I also do a healing. We do a body scan to see if there's anything that your higher self or your guides or whomever comes to show up to help and assist you. Tells you about what areas that are needed for concern and help you to start the healing process. And if they don't, they'll usually tell you about what things you need to do to start the healing process too as well. So make sure that you check that out too. All right then, as always, so I had to put my own community thing at the end, but as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, namago. Love you. Until next time.